With Halloween and cons right around the corner, many are getting ready to do special effects makeup like this one. Today, I'll be demonstrating how to create a simple wound on a zombie arm using tissue paper. As mentioned, the first thing you would need for this is tissue paper. I like to rip it ahead of time into small, manageable pieces. I prefer tearing instead of cutting because it gives it a more natural edge. And if you don't have tissue paper, you could use toilet paper or tissues as well. You will also need some kind of gluing agent. You could use Elmer's glue or liquid latex. I'm going to be using spirit gum today. We're also going to use fake blood. I got this off Amazon for around $5, but you could also make it yourself. There are plenty of recipes online on how to make fake blood as well. You're also going to need a makeup palette of some sort. It doesn't really matter the brand or anything as long as it has the colors you need. So for example, today I'm going to be using these greens for the skin tone of the zombie. I'm also going to be using this red and this red for the blood, and then I'm going to be using the white for bone and the black to add shadows and depth. I like to pre-layer the tissue paper ahead of time just so that way I get an idea of what shape that I'm going to use, and then I'll take out my spirit gum, and for the first layer that I'll be putting on, I'll coat it in spirit gum a little bit so that way it will be able to stick better onto the skin. Once you have the first piece coated in spirit gum, you're going to want to put it onto the skin wherever you plan on putting it, and you can kind of rub out the edges to kind of get it to stick a little bit. Once it's mostly stuck, you'll take out your spirit gum and you can layer on more spirit gum around the edges just to make sure that it fully sticks onto the skin. What you're going to want to do next is if you have any excess tissue paper, you're just going to want to rip it off slowly so that way it can blend into the skin better. Once again, you're going to take another piece of tissue paper, put it on the skin, layer on some more spirit gum to get it to stick onto the skin. And then you're going to rip off any excess tissue paper once again, just so that way you have a more clean edge. From there, you're just going to repeat the process over and over again with adding more tissue paper and more spirit gum, ripping as you need to create that 3D effect. Once you are happy with the wound and everything is dry, you're going to want to start adding the makeup. So today I'll be using green because I'm going to do a zombie look. However, if you are blending it into your natural skin tone or whatever other color you're using, that is what you would use to blend in. You'd want to use that same color. So that way the wound looks like it's actually on the arm. And you're just going to continuously add color as needed. Once you finish blending the outside of the wound, you're going to want to start adding additional details to the inside of the wound. So for this wound, I'm going to be adding bones. So I'll be using the white to add in the bones and then going around the edges and the center with black to kind of create depth. If you're going for a more realistic look, you're not going to want to use black because realistically the inside of your body is not black. You'd be using dark reds and purples. Once you are happy with those detailings, you're going to want to start incorporating the red. I'm going to add some red in between the bones, kind of overlapping on the black, and then I'm going to go around the outside of my wound with some red as well. Once again, if you're doing a more realistic wound, you're not going to want to have as noticeable of a red splotch around it. You're going to want to keep it relatively thin, which I'm going to be doing here regardless. Finally, for some extra detailing, you're going to incorporate your fake blood. I'm going to be putting the fake blood in between the bones and then around the outer edge of the wound. And with that, you'll have a finished zombie wound using tissue paper, spirit gum, or Elmer's glue or liquid latex, skin-safe paint, and fake blood. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you and you'll be able to utilize it this upcoming Halloween and con season. Thanks for watching.